Hello, I'm Peter Towers. Crowdfunding offers significant benefits to small medium enterprises and accountants. This is a great new opportunity for small medium enterprise operators, entrepreneurs, inventors, who have all been asking for years for an easier way to try to raise money from the public. And finally, an Australian government has put in place legislation that smaller companies will be able to raise money from the crowd. And that's great. It's a great opportunity for them. Now, most of these businesses are going to be small businesses, and therefore, in the main, they are traditional clients of small to medium-sized accountancy practices all over Australia. So this message is for you. I think there's a great opportunity from this crowdfunding legislation for accountants to really get involved at the grassroots in helping these clients process through this overall system. The legislation says that proprietary limited companies will have to convert to unlisted public companies if they are going to avail themselves of this opportunity. An unlisted public company, to be eligible for crowdfunding, must have turnover less than $25 million per annum and have gross assets valued at less than $25 million. There's a 5-year exemption from some of the more onerous obligations of a public company, and that relates to there is no need to appoint an auditor unless the company's board of directors wishes to do so. There is no need to hold an annual general meeting. There is no need to provide paper annual reports. And there is no need for the continuous disclosure rules that apply to public companies, which for most unlisted public companies relates to a report every 3 months. However, the audit exemption expires once the company has raised more than $1 million as an unlisted public company. The other key aspect of this legislation is the gatekeepers. Now, the gatekeepers are the crowdfunding intermediaries, and their role is to check that the company has put in place all of the required documentation in accordance with the Corporations Act. Once they are satisfied that the offered document is appropriate and complies with the law, then they will list that offer from an individual company on their website for a maximum period of 3 months. But it can be lesser if that is what the company has decided, because that is the maximum period that the shares for the company can be available for subscription under the crowdfunding rules. The maximum investment that a retail investor can make in a 12-month period per company is $10,000. The legislation also has a 5-day cooling off period for a retail investor. For a sophisticated investor, there is no overall limit on the amount of investment they can make, and there is no cooling off period for a sophisticated investor. The company can raise up to $5 million per annum from crowdfunding capital raising. So that's a fair amount of money that the company is going to be able to raise. To enable all this to happen, the company will have to produce adequate documents. Now, this might all be a fairy tale for the small, medium enterprise operators, the entrepreneurs, the inventors, if they do not produce the right documents, because the intermediary, the gatekeeper, will reject their documentation. So the vast majority of these companies are going to need assistance from accountants who are prepared to undertake more than taxation work, because they're going to need advice on the overall infrastructure, looking at the marketing strategy, the marketing plan, their intellectual property plan. Now, that work will, in most cases, be done by people who are not accountants. But someone needs to project manage this, and the obvious person is an accountant. But the real work for accountants to do is looking at the management structure, the job descriptions of the management team that this company is going to inform potential investors that they have. Also the team. Who are the team and what are they going to do? That will then flow into a corporate chart so that that's available and can be reviewed by potential investors. And then the big document for accountants to prepare is going to be the business plan. This will incorporate all the other documents, the marketing plan, the market strategy, the intellectual property overview, research and development strategies, and predict what this company is going to do for at least the next 3 years, so that an investor can have a good look at this and decide whether they wish to invest in this company. There's also going to be a need for budgets and cash flow forecasts to be prepared looking forward over the next 3 years, and obviously those forecasts would tie in with what has been said in the marketing plan and the business plan, and also the research and development document if the company envisages undertaking significant research and development. The company is also going to need an information memorandum, which will be a précis of all of these preceding documents, but primarily the business plan, but also contains the information that the Corporations Act requires to be disclosed when a company is raising money from the public. And most of these company directors are going to require some information on corporate governance procedures. It might be a refresher course for some, it might be a brand new course for others that you will be able to present to them. ESS BIZTOOLS and ESS Bassett have developed a crowdfunding package which we are launching next week in conjunction with 4 accountants, and this is going to be available for $399 including GST. This will give you the tools to get started. It will give you checklists for what the SMEs need to be doing, the company needs to be doing, what the role of the intermediary is so that the company directors and you clearly understand what the intermediary is going to do and what they have to do under the legislation. There's a checklist there for accountants. If you're guiding a client through this process, what you will have to do. Special webinar that we are presenting on crowdfunding is on Thursday the 27th of April at 12:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. To register, please go to www.essbassett.com.au. Thank you for showing an interest in the crowdfunding equity raising package. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Send us an email to peter@essbiztools.com.au. Have a great day. Goodbye.